Okay, here is my review of the Guild Starfire 1 Jet 90. Okay, first we'll go through some facts about the Jet 90. It comes in this satin gold. There's also a satin white and a satin black. I am not a fan of satin black guitars at all, but the satin black model, it looks fantastic. The sides and the back is all satin black. I'm also show you the little volute and the vintage style tuners while we're back here. All right, so as part of the Newark Street collection, this one has a manufacturer suggested retail price of $970. It's about $700 on the street. I picked this up with a case, a Guild case, which is like a couple $100, and pretty much unplayed. There's no fretware, there's nothing, for $450. So I drove 50 miles each way to get it, and I was very happy I did. Good deal. Anyway, here we go. It's a semi-hollow guitar, arch maple body. It's got beautiful 2-ply black and ivory binding all around it. The neck is mahogany with the volute I showed you. Got a modern thin U shape. The nut width is 1 11/16 inches or 43 millimeters. It's got a dual action truss rod, Indian rosewood fretboard on it with a 12.5-inch radius, 20 narrow tall frets. I really like narrow tall frets. I've had them on, this would be the third Guild I've had with them on it. They're about 1.3 millimeter tall, or about 51 thousandths of an inch. So pretty tall frets. This one has a Guild licensed vibrato, and look at how nice the paint is on that. Really impressed with how the paint looks on that. Really sharp. It's got 3 P90 pickups. They call them Franz pickups. I don't know if that was some factory or something, but you always got to make your pickup sound special, so that must be the way they're doing it. And unlike most guitars, it has a rotary switch on it. Got a master volume and a master tone, and the body is about 1 15/16 inch thick, almost 2 inches thick. So that's all the specs. It reminds me a little bit of the Trini Lopez Gibsons, being like semi-hollow and having the 6-in-1 tuners, or the Dave Grohl signature Gibson. And I think there's another guitar like that's this setup that has the 6 on a side. And there is some added tension because of the length of the string behind the bridge and the string up here. And that gives this guitar an awesome benefit that we'll talk about a little bit later. All right, here's the stuff I really dig. I like the style. It's wild. Semi-hollow with 6 on one side tuners. Pretty wild. I dig the 3 P90s. I've only had one other guitar with 3 P90s. It was a Reverend Slingshot Custom or something, an American one. That was a cool guitar. I dig the crazy headstock on this. I mean, that's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. I dig that. It's different. I dig it. I like how the paint is all matte finished. The black one really does look fantastic. I like this one too, but the black one, I don't like matte black guitars, but that one I really like. I like the fact that it has a volute behind the neck here. You know, like the Gibson Les Pauls used to have in the early 70s before everybody started whining. I like the fact that the center block that runs up through here is chambered, so it's not solid. I dig that too. The thickness, I like it. It's just under 2 inches. It's perfect. I like the taller frets that it has. A lot of guitars, the frets are too short. I love this Guild licensed Bigsby. It just looks beautiful to me. I really dig that. Now, there's some things I don't like. And the biggest complaint I have is with these tuners. It's like Guild's vintage tuners. These tuners, they suck. Some are super stiff and some are really loose. The G has got like slack in it. When you go, change direction, there's a little bit of slack in it. The tuners are bad. I don't know if it's a guild thing or just on this particular one, but they do suck. The other thing that's a little bit of a bummer is the pickups. You cannot adjust the pickup height without taking the strings off. The little center screw just takes off the cover. So you basically got to loosen all the strings, take them off, or at least move them out of the way, take the covers off. And I suggest you do that when the guitar is completely set up. And then once it's set up, put the strings back on, tighten them all up without these plastic covers, and then you can adjust them the way you want. Probably put your hand over the last fret when you do it. That's not a big thing because usually you just do that once. It's not the kind of thing you're doing all the time. I'm not a fan of the rotary switch. It's not my bag, baby. I don't like it. Here's what the rotary switch does. So that's what you're going to get with that rotary switch. Because of I mentioned earlier with this added string length, especially up here, it does something really cool because of it. This guitar is set up, it's got nines, it's got low action, and it's got nines. But because of that extra tension afforded by that extra length, this is what this guitar can do amazingly. I was thinking, I got to have a slide guitar. Well, I've got one now. I've got this one, but I mean, it still plays. The action's still really low. So that is really cool. Okay, now we're going to get into some clean sounds. When I do these sound tests, I like to keep everything flat. The ISF control, I'm going to turn it to 9 o'clock and do a few more clean sounds because it sounds like a little bit dark in the middle on when it's clean. So I'm just going to let you hear it with a little more towards the American side of EQ. And of course, we're going to treat it to some gain. is my review. I really love this guitar. I really do. I mean, it's the tuners, they really got to go. And I'm not the kind of guy to change tuners. I have an RG that I've had for 11 years, and the tuners had so much slack. They were terrible, but they never affected the stability of the guitar. I would always stay in tune perfectly. It's just when you're tuning up and down, there was so much play and slack, it was annoying. So after 10 years, I put some Wilkinson tuners on it. But these tuners, they got to go. They just plain out suck. The Bixby, I didn't mention, felt a little stiff to me. I took the spring out and I stepped up and down on it on the garage floor probably a dozen times. And I took the little Teflon out, and it just seems to feel a little smoother now. I don't know if that's something people do with Bixby's or not, but that's what I did. And I like the way that feels better. So all in all, yeah, it's definitely 2 thumbs up. This is a really cool guitar. It's different than all the guitars I have. And the fact that the guitar and this case were probably it figures out to like $933 with the tax, and I only paid $450. And I've got this nice gilt case, and it fits my Starfire 1 perfect too. So that was a real bonus. So yeah, if you can pick one of these up, know that the tuners suck, at least on mine. I mean, read some other reviews. Maybe it's just this one. I don't know. But a really cool guitar. You know, like all guitars, under a certain price point, they need to be set up. And this one was no different. I have a setup video on here you can watch if you like. But a really cool, different guitar. And really good for slide. Just really nice for slide, especially if you want to play lead on your slide guitar. And I have it so low, you may want to put heavier strings and 9s on yours. You know, but the slide works with 9. You can't be too ham-fisted. You got to be a little careful, but it works good. Anyway, that's my review. 2 thumbs up. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you subscribe. You could also hit like if you want. And if you don't want to, that's cool too. Anyway, have a great day, and thanks for watching my video.